Today we're going to go over how to add integers using a number line. So your learning target for the day is that I can show the addition of whole numbers on a number line. You should have gone over this before. This should be review, but the new piece of it might be on what to do with negative numbers. So we've already worked a little bit with negative numbers in the past, and if we were to take an addition statement such as positive 8 plus negative 4, you know that then you can use your integer tiles, and I'm going to dig out 4 negative integers and 8 positive, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you know if you have this, you can use your 0 pairs to cancel them out and see whatever you're left with as your answer. So you know that's one way to do it. Another example would be if you had negative 2 plus negative 3. You could then drag your negative integers over here. So you know you start with 2 on this side, you start with 3 more, but because they're the same, you can't make 0 pairs, right? One positive and one negative. Right over here is a 0 pair, but you know that we can't do that. So then you know that, well, look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're supposed to be negative. I dragged the positive ones over. Sorry for that. So you know you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negative integers. Well, your answer is going to equal negative 5. Just like you know this one equal positive 4, because that's what you're left with. So that should be familiar. Today we're going to work on number lines. And number lines should be nothing new. Here we have one that just goes from negative 10 to positive 10 with 0 right in the middle. And my addition statement is positive 4 plus positive 2 equals positive 6. And that should be a no-brainer, but I just want to show you how it works. So the first number we have here is positive 4. And I start at 0 and I move over 4. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and you see that's where I end up. Then I'm left with my positive 2, and so I'm going to move over 1, 2 more, and you can see that I end up at positive 6. Okay? So all I'm doing is breaking this into parts and moving over. Okay? Now, you need to write this down on your own paper. These are your notes for the day. Okay? The trick comes when you start adding negative integers. So when you add positive integers, you know you move to the right on a number line, just like we just did, right? I had 0 plus 5, negative 5. Right now my number line, when I added 4, I moved over to the right. The opposite of that then is that when you add negative integers, you have to move to the left on a number line. So if I had my same number line here, 0, negative 5, positive 5, and I'm adding negative 5 to it, I'm going to move left. Okay? And that's the same, you know that numbers greater than 0 go to the right on your number line. Numbers smaller than 0 go to the left on your number line. Okay? So you need to make sure you have this in your notes. I'll just give you another minute to finish that up if you need, or you can pause the video until you are done writing. So, adding positive integers again, and we're just going to go over another example of this here. Okay? So I'm going to choose to add positive 2 plus positive 4. I use my brackets just to keep things simple. Oh wait, no, we already did this example. I do positive 3. Okay? Same deal. Remember that you always start at 0. I move 3 to the right for my first number, right here. Second number, I have 4 left, so then I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 more to the left, and you see that I end up at 7. So that way I know that positive 3 plus positive 4 equals positive 7, because that's where I ended up. Okay? And be careful to note that I moved 1, 2, 3, 4 more after my first one, right? And that should be pretty self-evident. You've done addition with number lines in the past. Here now I'm going to use a positive and a negative. So if I have positive 7 plus negative 3, okay, I'm going to start off with this. Positive 7 plus negative 3 equals question mark. Well, for my positive 7 here, you know I start at 0 and then I move 7 to the right, Right now I'm at 7. But I have my negative 3 to deal with now, so that means I'm going to go 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. And I end up with positive 4. Okay? Remember that my negative numbers go left, my positive numbers go right. Okay? I will just show you if I start out with a negative number. So instead of positive 7 plus negative 3, I had negative 3 plus positive 7. Okay, same question, I just flip the order around. Well, all I'm going to do is start off. I start at 0, I move 3 to the left, because I started with my negative number, and then I had my positive 7, and I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right, and I ended up at positive 4. Okay? Positive 4. The nice thing with addition and subtraction is that you'll end up at the same point, but it's nice to get in the habit of doing it in order. Negative integers similar to positive, so for my example I'm going to add negative 4 plus negative 4 equals question mark. Well, same deal, I start at 0, move 4 to the left for my first number. Second number is negative 4, so I move 4 more to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4 more to the left. And I'm putting the arrow so you can see which direction I'm moving and where I started. And then I'm going to end up with negative 8. Okay, what would happen if I had plus 6 and negative 6? Okay, well, we went over this. This was part of your example yesterday. However, because we went over this yesterday, you should know that we end up at 0, right? If I start at positive 6, I move 6 to the right, and then I have my negative 6, I move 6 to the left, and I end up with 0, right? And that's why they're called opposite integers, because when I add them together, I will always end up at 0. I could do negative 5 and positive 5, I could do positive 9 and negative 9. It's opposite integers are the same number, but with the different sign. And you should have that in your notes as well. Okay? So opposite integers, same number with a different sign, and you know that when you add them, you always end up at 0. Okay? Just review. Positive integer, you move right. So I start out with my negative 2, I went left, positive 3, I went right, and I ended up with positive 1. Okay? Negative integers, you move left on the number line. So here I had negative 2 and negative 3. So I start off by moving to my negative 2. I went 3 more, and you can see that I ended up at negative 5. Okay? There's my answer. You can use the same strategies on a vertical number line. So this is obviously a thermometer, right? And you might see some examples with this. So again, I always start at 0, and I went up plus 12 to right here, and then I went down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I ended up at positive 7. Okay, this thermometer is a little bit harder to read, but you get the idea. So, for your practice, I want you to work on page 62 and 63. I'll leave this up where you can pause the video here in order to see your assignment. If you have any questions, please ask me. Good luck.